Sripada Srivallabha Charithamrutham, Chapter 20, Part 2. Om Sai Ram. Birth as a thorny tree as a result of sinful acts. While going to Orissa state for business purpose, I fortunately reached Pitikapuram and found the house of Sri Bapanaraya. At that time, Sripada was in the backyard along with Sri Bapanaraya. There was a thorny tree in their backyard. Sripada was carefully watering the tree. Bapanaraya said to Sripada, "My dear, is it proper to take so much care of that thorny tree which is dear to you as if it is the Somalata or Sanjeevani plant? It will grow whether you care for it or not." Then Sripada remarked, "Grandfather, this thorny tree is Visvavadhani, who in his previous birth was in our street and ridiculously saying, 'Oh, the self-manifested Datta is born as the grandson of Bapanaraya. What a freak it is! What a great offense against God!' When my mother, my brothers and sisters and I dined in the house of Sri Pindya Venkatappa Sresti and Narsimha Varma, this Visvavadhani kicked up an controversy in the council of Brahmins that the Malladi and the Gandhikota families were depraved and violated the dharma, and that two families should be ostracated from the Brahmin community. This thorny tree is none other than that Visvavadhani, is Sripada Dattatreya. What is the proof for it? Is it in the scriptures? Is it in the Vedas? Visvavadhani, who advanced such mean arguments, is this thorny tree now. Pindya Venkatappa Sresti and Narasimha Varma regarded my divine mother Sarva Mangala Swarupini Sumati Maharani as the daughter of their household and offered her meals and respected her by giving new clothes to her. By such revital treatment to mother, they used to feel that their families were blessed. Visvavadhani was abusing those two people every day. This thorny tree is that Visvavadhani. Due to the omission of his sins after his death and the account of his heavy load of sins, Visvavadhani is now born as a thorny tree, quite appropriate to his nature. On seeing the old Visvavadhani as a thorny tree, I took pity on him and am giving water to this tree." Sripada thus concluded. After a short while, they came into the street from the backyard. On seeing the bewitched, charming Sripada, I broke into hiccups with overwhelming delight. Tears of joy flowed like floods from my eyes. I fell on the divine lotus feet of Sripada. Sripada touched me on the back with love and said, "My dear, get up. What are these mad acts? You died, got back into life and came to me, knowing that I do business in silk clothes." Sri Bapanaraya asked me, "Do you have any silk dress suitable for our golden lad?" I gave a silk dress suitable for Sripada. Sripada took me inside Sri Bapanaraya's house and told me, "Guru Charan, I will show you a wonder." Sri Bapanaraya also followed Sripada. Sripada took us to the thorny tree and questioned, "Grand old Visvavadhani, you got this sort of birth because your children performed obscenity without care and because you have abused great people like Bapanaraya. This Guru Charan was your son in your previous birth. I'll make him perform your ceremony. Do you agree?" We were nonplussed that Visvavadhani, who was a ghostly spirit, entered the thorny tree, replied clearly that there was no great fortune than that. Sripada made me uproot the thorny tree completely. He instructed me to generate fire with two audumber twigs in his hand. I took them from him and generated fire by friction of those two small sticks. I burned the thorny tree. Sripada directed me to take bath. After finishing the bath, Sripada gave me vibhuti and asked me to apply it on my body and said, "People think that Shiva rubs on his body the ash from the burial ground. Shiva applies on his body the ash obtained from the funeral of great persons, Siddhas, Mahayogis and great devotees after they die. they remain united in the circle of the aura surrounding his body. When animals such as monkey, a snake or a cow die to our inadvertence, we must perform the rituals to them. It is enough if we conduct their funeral and give food to the hungry. There is no need to conduct any rituals with mantras. Those creatures who had some bond of indebtedness to us in some birth die like that in our hands adequately. Those creatures who had some bond of indebtedness to us in some birth die like that in our hands adequately. By burning their bodies with care, or our residing karma will be destroyed. They will all attain a noble position. In an ancient age, at one time, the world was facing difficulties with famine and scarcity. Unless there is an increase in the stock of cows, sacred materials like cow's ghee could not be produced. In the absence of yajna and other sacrifices, mutual cooperation arrangement by the master of the universe between humans and celestials would go to a waste. Dharma would get weakened. Humans could not live unless there was sufficiency of food. Therefore, sage Gautama grew crop in his hermitage by the strength of his penance. He manifested in Godavari river to redeem his sins, which was occurred by killing a phantom cow. Therefore, the world is very much indebted to sage Gautama. Ahalya, the wife of sage Gautama, was a great devoted wife. This Vishwavadhani was born in the lineage of sage Gautama. The only connection between sage Gautama and Vishwavadhani is that the latter's birth was in that lineage. Even though there is a very small bond of indebtedness, this event happened for the following reasons. In the Treta Yuga, sage Gautama also participated in the Savitra Kataka sacrifice that was conducted in the Pitikapuram. Vishwavadhani was born luckily in Pitikapuram, and not only that, he had my darshan, which is very difficult to get. The time has come when he should know that the world, that this Datta can grant nobler state with causeless compassion, even to an unworthy person. Unless there is a bond of indebtedness with you, even a dog will not approach you. So, if anyone approaches you for help, help him if you can. If not possible, explain to him about your inability in polite words. But don't display unkind treatment. If you show merciless treatment, I, who is the indweller of all beings, will also be merciless towards you. It is a fact that I alone am the root cause for all this. The fact is as much true as you, this world and the entire creations are true. I am the supreme truth, truth of all truth. In the Vedas also it is said that the truth, knowledge and infinity are the supreme Brahman. Sripada explained in detail in the above manner. I was looking with astonishment. Tears of joy were trickling down the cheek of Bapanaraya. Sripada wiped the tears from the cheeks of his grandfather with his tiny hands and said, "Grandfather, in recent times you have been continuously complimenting about me. Your birth is fulfilled. I will take the incarnation of Sri Narasimha Saraswati exactly in your form. This is true." Saying so, he placed his hand on the hand of Bapanaraya. Then Bapanaraya expressed a doubt. "Sripada, I have a doubt in my mind for many days. Shall I ask you?" Immediately Sripada with smiles said, "Grandfather, can there be a doubt to a person of your status? Can a lad of 10 years clear it? What a wonder! Even then I will try. Ask." Bapanaraya asked, "Are creation, sustenance and liquidation done by Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara respectively?" Sripada responded, "Yes." Bapanaraya asked, "Saraswati, Lakshmi and Parvati are the respective forms of the strength of them, is it not?" Sripada responded, "Yes." Sri Bapanaraya asked, Adi Shakti, Parashakti has created the Trinity and their Shakti forms, is it not? Sripada responded, yes. Then Bapanaraya questioned Sripada, then who are you? Sripada is the personification of all deities. He is the origin of everything. When a volley of these questions came out of the mouth of his grandfather, Sripada smiled charmingly and said, Grandfather, I granted a noble position to the thorny tree before your eyes just now. Is it needless to discuss whether there is any spiritual sanction or standard for my actions? I exist in all yogic states. A person who is a yogi in the respective states will definitely meet me. Creation is not Maya. To think that this is all the creation is indeed Maya. The whole creation is prevailed by a simple divine consciousness. However, it is subjected to evolution in variety of position and states. This is the basis of the evolutionary process. As knowledge about time is received, the process of evolution rests in the experience. This concept of time is convinced on account of sun, moon and earth. Sage Atri had an experience of 3 times, that is past, present and future, and the 3 states at the same time. Mother Anusuya was the great devoted wife who had the experience of nature of non-jealousy in the creation. I have the experience of all aspects of creation, sustenance and destruction, gross, subtle and moral bodies, past, future and the present at the same time. Therefore, I am externally present. Everything that happened, that is happening and that will happen is experienced at the same time by me. In such a state, there is no wonder that the Trinity and the 3 Shaktis are in me. In fact, that the Trinity and the 3 goddesses of power were in Adi Shakti prior to creation. There is no difference between me and the Adi Parashakti, but there is a finer point here. Since there was a great resolve, the entire creation should come out of the womb of the mother. The form of Adi Parashakti emerged. There was the form of Brahma Yoni only from the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, as well as Saraswati, Lakshmi and Parvati came out. However, how did the will to create or how did the will to plan the process of creation in a particular fashion take place? I am the propelling force of the embodiment of the grand resolve. The advent of Adi Parashakti, the Trinity and the 3 Shaktis happen only according to the grand resolve. The form of the grand resolve is the personification of the highest teacher. This is a very secret matter. Whenever the highest resolve wills it, immediately occurs. To will and to fulfill takes place at the same time. I am the very predominant power that can inhabit all powers. Relationship between the mother and the child, father and the son, husband and wife, brother and sister are unavoidable. The forms of God and the goddess emerge to demonstrate the above sacred relationship as ideal ones. Jiva is the Shakti existing in Maya. I am the supreme Shakti, the terrestrial Maya. Only by yogic Shakti, Maya Shakti and Mahashakti can meet me. The Trinity and the 3 Shaktis remain included in the worship of Adi Parashakti or the original Datta. Only those who are rich in spiritual endowments can understand these divine relationships, their nature and the experiences of the relevant state of spiritual progress. All the sins of those who adore Sripada will be removed. It is useless to teach Sanskrit grammar to a beast. If an animal wants to learn Sanskrit grammar, it should be liberated from that lower birth. It should be born as a human being and learn it from a competent person. Since I have an internal connection with every creature, I respect them 10 descents prominence. I receive the 10 descents prominence and the impurities from them daily through a holy bath and jap. I burn their impurities and help towards the development of the living being. In fact, there is no necessity for me to worship. I attract into me many evil influences of those who adore me and conduct a brief worship of our family deity Kalagni Shamana. I decide great result derived from that worship to my devotees. It is not possible to give any result without doing karma. Therefore, I perform penance and great pious rites with this body. Since I am the infinite consciousness, I get instantaneous results from the rite performed. So I transmit those results to my devotees according to their eligibility. That is why mine is the form of Adiguru. Just as a child is entitled for the properties of his parents, the disciples of the Predator here becomes a heir to the powers of penance of their Guru. In Bhagavad Gita also it is mentioned that performance of action is inescapable. There is no end to my creation. There is no end to my incarnation. I, Sri Datta, am easily accessible. Other deities grant boons after they being satisfied with the penance performed by their devotees. However, Datta, an embodiment of the Guru phenomena, who is compassionate one, who by his strength of penance removes all evil forces and the forces of misfortune that stand in the way of his devotees, obtaining boons. Grandfather, this is the reason for calling me Smriti Matra Prasanna. I am the one who is in the form of all Gurus. As this incarnation took place out of a great compassion as Paramaguru, there is no end to the incarnation. As soon as I receive the call of my devotee, I will respond at once. I am waiting for the call from my devotee. If a devotee moves one step towards me, I will take 100 steps towards him. My natural trait is to protect my devotees like a eyelid protects the eyes, and to guard them against all accidents and troubles. Sripada thus imparted these divine preachings to Sri Bapanaraya. Then I requested that the great Presitor, great Lord, I heard something about Somalata and the Somyaga. Kindly tell me the details about them. Then Sripada said that Somalata is also called Sanjeevini herb and asked me whether I wanted to see it. When I said yes, the Sanjeevini herb appeared in his hands. He presented it to me. That is in my puja mandir, securely even today, as his divine prasad. Sripada continued, these Sanjeevani herbs are available in the Himalayan mountain ranges, at Manas Sarovar in Kashmir, at the birthplace of Sindh river, at Srishaila mountain, the external abode of Lord Mallikarjuna, and at Sayadri, at Mahendragiri, at the Vindhya mountain range, and at Bhadri forest. Lakshmana recovered from coma only through the efficacy of this herb. By rubbing it on his body, one can achieve the facility of air travel. It greatly helps in toning up muscles, enhancing the leisure of the eyes and hearing faculty. Freedom comes from many diseases by using it. From the efficacy, any sort of fear or suffering from fire, water or poison will not affect. It also gives 8 siddhis like animal, etc. This Sanjeevani plant will start sprouting 1 leaf per day, beginning from the first day of Shukla Paksha on the full moon day. It will have 15 leaves. Again, from the commencement of the next fortnight, Krishna Paksha, every day 1 leaf falls off, and on the new moon day, the plant dries up with all its leaves have fallen off. When this small dried stick is wetted with water and kept in a room during night, it will emit light. Wild animals stand guard for this Sanjeevani herb in the Sayadri mountain range and in the Bhima Shankar mountains. It can be recognized during the midnight of the new moon day when it shines in heavenly illumination. My dear Guru Charana, like this, there are about 24 varieties of herbal plants. All of them are very sacred. The divine forces reside in these plants. Therefore, these herbs are to be collected with utmost humanity while chanting Vedic mantras. The names of the herbal plants are 1. Soma, 2. Mahasoma, 3. Chandrama, 4. Anushama, 5. Manjavana, 6. Rataprabhu, 7th. Dhruva, 8. Kanyan, 9. Sweta, 10. Kanakaprabha, 11. Parthavana, 12. Lal Vidhur, 13. Karadri, 14. Aswan, 15. Swayam Prabha, 16. Rudraksh, 17. Gayatri, 18. Eswin, 19. Patrava, 20. Jagat, 21. Sakar, 22. Anisthama, 23. Rayatra, 24. Sripada Gayatri. I took a leave from Sripada and left Pitikapuram. After Guru Charan finished narrating this to me, permission for the darshan of Sri Mahaguru was given and were informed that the yogic mental travel of Mahaguru is completed. We had his darshan, we received the fruit and prasad from the divine hands of Sripada. Then Sripada said, both of you cross the Krishna river and go to the other side. Go to the Manchal village. The village goddess Manchala will bless you. After obtaining her blessings of that mother, return to Karangudda. Note that I will be always observing you wherever you are and whatever distance you are. In future, Machala village will become famous worldwide. It becomes famous account of the live samadhi of a great person. The sportive place of the great person will be wonderful. There is a Pitikapuram in the subtle view, just as there is a Pitikapuram in the gross view. The subtle view is the golden Pitikapuram that will be established in the circle of aura enveloping my physical body. Anyone who obtains my grace irrespectively of the country or time to which they belong will have their conscience well established in that golden Pitikapuram. This can be understood by all those who have yogic vision. Those who earn a place for their life consciousness in golden Pitikapuram are really fortunate. I will follow them in each and every birth and will save them. My dear Shankar Bhatt, a great samsthan in my name will be formed after many hundreds of years. My padukas will be established under the shade of the Audambar tree at my birthplace in the house of my maternal grandfather. The idols of mine and preceding incarnations and the next incarnation will also be established. I am imparting you with supernatural sights. Saying so, he touched Guru Charna and me at the center of our eyebrows. We saw a beautiful scene and felt gratified. His will is superb. His sportive pastimes are strange. When we started the journey, he said, a person of external terrains of Vishwatha will come as a priest from my Sansthan. Here we come to end of chapter 20 of Sripada Srivallabha Charithamrutham. Om Sai Ram.